Attention Commanders fans. The clock is ticking, and what I'm about to drop could change the franchise. First up, someone in Ashburn has a master plan for the defense. A titan straight out of Belichick's fire has come to show everyone how to stop ground games. But wait, while you're breathing, a veteran with 69 sacks is one step away from signing. And if we don't do IT today, Dallas or Philly will snatch him. Think that's everything. Wrong. A classified mock draft just revealed that Washington might append Dallas, snatching their superstar and bringing a QB that sets secondaries on fire. This is nitrogen monoxide theory. These are real moves that we either execute or they'll be our nightmare in year 2025. What do we do? Subscribe now. I swear what's coming at minute 8:47 will blow your mind. Hit like. So Adam Peters sees this. And remember, those not subscribed will be watching highlights from 2005. After seeing how the Eagles ran for 229 yards and 7 touchdowns in the NFC Championship game, I knew something had to change. Turns out, Dan Quinn already had the answer, but no one realized it. Dietrich Wise Jr., the 30-year-old veteran we signed from the Patriots, isn't just another player. Do you know what it means to have someone 6'5" and 280 pounds who learned from Bill Belichick? I'll tell you. It means we have a gap-controlling specialist who can play both over tackles and guards. Wise put it perfectly. I'm very powerful and strong. What makes me a good edge setter is using my hands, my strength, and the length of my arms to keep guys away from me. And you know what's the most amazing about all this? While everyone was crying about losing Dante Fowler Jr., who only weighed 261 pounds, Quinn already planned to use Wise as the wall we needed. The Patriots traditionally favored longer, bulkier linemen who could occupy double teams and keep the linebackers clean. But here's the part nobody's getting. Wise isn't just a bigger player. This man has 8 years of NFL experience and has always been the guy doing the dirty work without flashy stats. In New England, he was the one allowing other players to shine. You know why? Because he occupied 2 blockers, letting linebackers run free to the ball carrier, Little Willingham from 106.7. The fans said his physical profile screams edge setter, and I completely agree. But not everyone understands being an edge setter isn't glamorous. It's hard and thankless work. Wise himself says his main job is to push the ball carrier back towards the fast, physical, and strong linebackers. And here's the genius part. Joe Witt Jr. has indicated they'll use Javon Kinlaw, our 6'5", 319-pound defensive tackle, on the edge too. Can you imagine offensive coordinators planning runs against the line with Wise on one side and Kinlaw on the other? That's an absolute nightmare. Last year, we allowed 4.88 yards per carry and 14 runs over 20 yards. Do you think that's acceptable? You're crazy. But with Wise controlling the edge, Bobby Wagner and Frankie Louvu will have clean lanes to attack downhill. And here's the part that excites me. Wise and Kinlaw can both play defensive tackle, meaning Quinn can switch between 3-4 and 4-3 formations with the same personnel. You know what this means for the opposing offensive coordinator? It means they can't predict what kind of front they're facing until the last second. Eddie Goldman, our other signing, is a natural nose tackle who's comfortable playing over the ball and taking on multiple blockers. Combine that with Wise and Kinlaw controlling the edges, and suddenly we have a defense that can shrink the space opponents have to attack in the running game. Wise became a hidden gem doing all these things in New England. While his arrival in Washington didn't make headlines, he can be the game changer for our shaky run defense. And I believe by season's end, everyone will be talking about how this man changed our defense. If that surprises you, wait to hear this. Bleacher Report just named the Commanders the best destination for Jedarius Smith, the 3-time Pro Bowler still available on the market. And now I ask you, why hasn't Adam Peters already signed? This man? Smith has 69 sacks in his career across 140 games, including 9 last season split between Cleveland and Detroit. You know what that means? This man has been productive with 5 different teams over the last decade. 5 teams. That's no coincidence. That's pure professionalism. But here's the part that has me really excited. Smith isn't just a pass rusher. This man understands the game at a level few players reach. When he played with the Packers, he was the guy who could read protections pre-snap and adjust his rush accordingly. With the Vikings, he showed he could be effective even in a new system. And you know what happened when he got to Cleveland? 9 sacks in one season split between 2 teams. Do you know how hard it is to maintain that level of production when switching systems mid-season? I'll tell you, only elite players can do that. Matt Holder from Bleacher Report says Smith has never been known as a strong run defender and is getting up there in age, likely pushing him toward a pass rush specialist role. And you know what? That's exactly what we need. I'll tell you this, while Jerry Jones continues making a fool of himself with his decisions in Dallas, we have the opportunity to add a veteran who knows exactly what playing in this division means. The Cowboys stole Dante Fowler Jr. from us in free agency, but we can respond with Smith. And here's the genius part. We have Jaden Daniels on a cheap rookie contract for the next 3 seasons. Holder says it's crucial to build around him with veteran pieces while we have the funds to do so. This is our moment to make a push for the Lombardi Trophy. But here's the part nobody is discussing. Smith isn't just an upgrade over what we have. He's a veteran who's played in playoff games, been to Pro Bowls, and been productive in multiple systems. When games get tough, do you want Dorrance Armstrong trying to close the deal or a 3-time Pro Bowler who's been there before? And let's talk numbers for a second. We have around $20 million in cap space this season. Do you know how much Smith would cost? Probably a fraction of what the Cowboys paid for Fowler. This is an absolute no-brainer. Now I ask you, would you rather have Dorrance Armstrong and Clelin Ferrell as our starting edge rushers, or add a veteran who's tormented quarterbacks for a decade? Because I think the answer is obvious. And you know what's crazy about all this? Smith could be the piece that takes us over the top. We have the offense, we have some good players on defense, but we need that veteran who can make plays in crucial moments. Smith is exactly that. And just when you thought we were done, here comes the really crazy part. NFL.com just published a win now mock draft that has the Commanders selecting Tua Tagovailoa in the 1st round and CD Lamb in the 2nd. I can't believe what I'm reading. Chad Reuter says Washington could have selected Tagovailoa instead of Chase Young with the 2nd overall pick in the 2020 draft. Can you imagine Tua playing in Cliff Kingsbury's scheme? I'll tell you, it would be absolutely devastating for the NFC East. But here's the part that really intrigues me. Tagovailoa would be the first quarterback drafted that high by the Commanders since Robert Griffin III. And we all know what happened with RG3. But here's the difference. Tua has already proven he can stay healthy when his offensive line protects him. The Dolphins switched to a faster passing game last year to prevent their quarterback from taking more hits. And you know what's incredible about Tua's situation? He's flashed greatness but has been limited by injuries. Last year, when Miami adjusted its offense to protect him better, he showed exactly why he was considered a first-round talent. Can you imagine what Kingsbury could do with a quarterback who can make all the throws but also has the mobility to extend plays? But here's the part nobody's mentioning. Tua was considered by many the top quarterback in the 2020 draft. The Dolphins picked him 5th, but many scouts believed he had the highest ceiling. And why wasn't he number 1? Simply over health concerns after that devastating injury at Alabama. But you know what's most amazing about this mock draft? CD Lamb, Dallas' star receiver, would be wearing the right colors for the first time in his career, landing with Dallas' divisional rival. Lamb looks to continue his 4-year streak of over 1,100 receiving yards. Says Reuter, can you imagine Lamb causing nightmares for the Cowboys instead of us? I think that would be poetic justice. While the Cowboys continue being the Cowboys, we'd be building a dynasty. But let's talk about Lamb for a second. This man has had over 1,100 receiving yards for 4 consecutive years. Do you know how consistent you have to be to do that? And he did it with quarterbacks like Dak Prescott, who isn't exactly Tom Brady. Can you imagine? Lamb running routes designed by Cliff Kingsbury. Kingsbury is known for creating mismatches and putting his receivers in position to make plays after the catch. Lamb is already elite at that, but with Kingsbury designing plays specifically for him, it'd be absolutely unfair. The mock draft also includes Vita V in the 3rd round, a 350-pound defensive tackle with 7 sacks last season. A 350-pound nose tackle with 7 sacks. That's burgundy and gold, baby. But here's the part that excites me most about V. He's not just a pure run stopper. Reuters says he might seem like a pure run stopper, weighing nearly 350 pounds at nose tackle, but he had 7 sacks for the Buccaneers last season. Do you know how rare it is to find a 350-pound player who can rush the passer effectively? And to close the top 100, Jalen Ramsey in the 4th round. The fans who wanted us to trade for Ramsey would be happy. Those who saw the trade for Marsh and Lattimore as a failure would be even happier. But let's talk about Ramsey for a second. This man is still one of the most talented cornerbacks in the NFL. Reuters says you can still make quarterbacks pay for challenging him. Do you know what that means? It means we'd have a shutdown corner who can eliminate the opponent's number 1 receiver. And you know what's crazy about all this? This mock draft also includes Elijah Vera Tucker in the 5th round. This man was a 1st-round pick by the Jets and is now available in the 5th round. Do you know what that means for our offensive line? Carl Granderson in the 6th round is also interesting. He's an edge rusher who's shown flashes in New Orleans. Brandon Jones in the 7th round is a safety who can contribute immediately on special teams and as depth. But you know what's wild about all this? This mock draft proves national analysts finally recognize we're a team in win-now mode. After reaching the NFC Championship game last season, not every team can say they came so close to the top as we did. Reuters specifically says. This is a mock draft for teams in win-now mode. And you know what? He's right. We have Jaden Daniels. On a rookie contract, we have an offense that can compete with anyone. And we have a defense that's a few pieces away from being elite. This mock draft isn't just fantasy football. It's a recognition that the Commanders are in a unique position to add proven veterans and make a serious Super Bowl run. And I think that's exactly what we need to hear. To sum up, we have a secret weapon in Wise that can transform our run defense, a golden opportunity with Smith that can take our pass rush to the next level, and an explosive future according to this mock draft that includes some of the NFL's best players. These 3 news items prove the Commanders are building something special here in the DMV. It's no coincidence we have a secret weapon no one saw coming, a chance to sign a proven veteran, and a mock draft adding superstars. Guaranteed tomorrow we'll have more explosive news about our team. You can't miss what's coming because this organization is finally making the right moves. Do you think we should sign Jedarius Smith before training camp starts? Do you like the idea of having Tua and CeeDee Lamb on this team? Or do you think Dietrich Wise Jr. will be the difference in our run defense? Hit LIKE if you think Adam Peters should make the move for Smith. Subscribe if you believe this could finally be our year. And let me know in the comments which of these 3 news items excites you most. Because here on this channel, we're a family, and families stick together through the good and bad times. Join this community of true Commanders fans who live and breathe burgundy and gold every day. And remember, hail to the Redskins.